Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera. Okay, today we will learn the last chapter for the MK 40133, chapter 7, Fat Analysis. Alright, so in the end of this chapter, okay, everyone will able to understand the operation of Fat Analyzer. We will able to explain the fundamental principles of a fat analyzer. Okay, you will able to sketch and label the schematic diagram of fat analyzer. You will be able to explain the differences between the fat analyzer and salt slag method. Okay, and then you will know on how to use the fat analyzer, which is SaltStem. Okay, SaltStem to analyze the fat sample. How? Okay, you will know on how to prepare the sample. Okay, you will know on how to perform the analysis. Okay, to determine the fat content, and then you will know to appropriately use the equipment and technique. Okay, together with the safety procedure, and then after the analysis, you will know on how to compare the percentage of fat in standard reference. Alright, so there is a video to understand the operation of fat analyzer. Okay, you may watch the video later. You may click the link from the slide that I will give you after this. Okay, so fat analyzer. Fat analyzer is actually we use to analyze the fat, right? Okay, one of the way to analyze the fat is extraction method. Okay, so from the extraction method, we also have a few methods on how to extract the fat, right? Okay, extraction methods are used in many ways for classic fat determination in foodstuff and animal feed. Okay, the substance to be determined is dissolved out of the sample with a suitable solvent. Okay, when we want to extract the fat from any sample, okay, we need the solvent. Okay, then after the solvent extraction, we separate the sample from the solvent. So the resultant extract can be analyzed in terms of quantity or quality. Quantity means you know the amount, you know the value, you know the percentage, you know the composition of the sample, while the quality is you know on how to determine how to identify the sample. Okay, for example, if you extract fat, okay, then you know what is the component that exists inside the fat. Okay, for example, what type of fatty acid, okay, or maybe the quality of the fat. Okay, for example of the solvent that we use for fat extraction, mostly we use petroleum ether, hexane, or diethyl ether. Okay, so mostly these three solvents are used to extract the fats and oil from foodstuff and animal feeds. And then we also may use another solvents like hexane, acetone, toluene, and the mixtures of these solvents. Alright, previously for the conventional method or even currently, okay, most people use a salt slag method for fat extraction. Okay, however, this conventional method already upgraded or improved, okay, by using fat extractor. Okay, for example, one of the fat extractor that we use in PTSN, we have SaltStem. Alright, this is the SaltStem. Okay, you may see this SaltStem in C2. Okay, it's located in C2. Right, so there are four fundamental principles of fat analyzer. Okay, there are four methods for the principles of fat analyzer. Is this combination, okay, from Rose-Gottlieb principles, Smith-Bonsky-Ratzoff, Wilbur-Stuhl or Wilbur-Bentrop principle, then we have Vindy method. Alright, Rose-Gottlieb principle is to determine the fat contents, Smith-Bonsky-Ratzoff, to determine the fat content, Wilbur-Stoll or Wilbur-Bentrop principle is to determine the total fat, and the last one, Venti method, is to determine the crude fat in the field of animal. Okay, by using the salt system, alright, we will go through 5 stages. For the first stage, the sample is immersed in the boiling solvent, and the extractable material is liberated from the sample. After that, for the stage 2, the level of the solvent is lowered below the extraction table. Okay, the excess solvent is collected in the rear solvent recovery tank. Okay, for the stage 3, the material is extracted by the reflux, contains solvent, and is collected in the solvent below in the extraction beaker. For the stage 4, the bulk of the solvent is distilled over into the rear storage tank for later recovery. And the last one, okay, we go to the stage 5. The extraction beakers are lifted from the hot plate automatically. Some of the residual solvent may be removed via convection heating. Okay, after finishing all of these 5 stages, the cooling, water, and heating are switched off, okay, when the extraction is finished. Okay, you can see or you can imagine the process of these 5 stages from this diagram. Okay, you can compare from the explanation from the previous slide, okay, with this slide to see the process, how the process occurs. Alright, so in the fat analyzer, we have a few main component or important component. Okay, we have system for the whole main body. Okay, together with the system, we have the multi-step control unit. We have control manager, compressor, connection piece for the compressor. Okay, so this connection piece will connect with the compressor, which this compressor may connect with 4. Okay, for heating for the same time. Extraction timber holder, boiling stones, extraction beaker glass, and extraction timber stainless steel. Okay, we also have recirculating cooler, rate controller for cooling water, insert rack, and joint ring, or we call it as O. Alright, these all are the functions of each of the component of fat analyzer. Okay, for example, multi-step control unit is to control and monitoring. Control manager is software. Okay, we install the software to control and monitoring. And then we have the compressor. Okay, compressor is to compress the air supply, and we need the connection of the compressor, okay, which will connect up to 4 system unit for one compressor. Okay, and then we have extraction timber for acid and heat resistant. Extraction timber stainless steel, okay, suited for extraction with for petroleum ether and adhesive. Alright, so as you can see from this diagram, okay, you can see where the sample is insert, okay, and then where the sample is collected and the waste is removed. Alright, then you can see from the stage A to until E, showing the process of the fat extraction, okay, by using fat analyzer. Alright. This is the schematic diagram of fat analyzer together with the labeling number. Okay, this number shows the important part or important component. Okay, that that we need to know for the operation of this fat analyzer. Okay, we can see from the front view and we can see from the rear. Okay, this is there are 41 labeling for the schematic diagram, so you have to know. Okay, you have to know the important component for the schematic diagram of fat analyzer. Alright, so here, after we understand the principle and the diagram of the system, then let's see what are the differences between salt slag and system. Okay, why we need the improvement from the conventional method salt slag, okay, and produce system. Why? Okay, because first system have 5 times faster, okay, which can process up to 24 different samples simultaneously. Okay, but for salt slag require longer period to complete the extraction process. Okay, for system is very versatile because it can be upgraded easily at any time. But for salt slags only depends on one concept only. Okay, not suitable to numerous multiple salt slag. Okay, for system provides the best analysis result reliably and consistently, but salt slag is may vary depends on the error. Okay, maybe due to the human error or environmental error, right? And then salt system may minimize the time. Okay, but for salt slag is time consuming. Alright, so salt system is compliant with the national and international standards such as AOAC and EPA, while salt slag is handling solvent is potentially dangerous. Okay, for salt system, okay, salt systems provide precise extraction result, okay, with highest validity. But for salt slag, result need to validate using instruments such as GC. Okay, for system is economic, okay, because the extraction beakers in two sides ensure minimal use of chemical. But for salt slags, more sulfur required. Okay, for system will protect the environment due to the solvent recovery. System after finishing the extraction, it automatically recover the solvent. But for salt slag, okay, it may give harm to environment. Okay, so this is the method on how to use the fat analyzer to analyze fat sample. Okay, first to carry out the extraction. The extraction beaker are filled with a few bottle stones. Okay, and then we dry at 103 degrees C in drying oven. After that, the beaker are cooled down to room temperature in a desiccator. And then weigh exactly 1 mg on an analytical balance. Make note the weight as it needed for the calculation. And then um, about 5 gram of homogeneous sample is weighed to exactly 1 milligram into the extraction timber and recovered with a fat-free weighing. Sample preparation like drying is necessary should be carried out as required. Okay, and then push the extraction timber holder from below over the extraction timber so that it is level with the upper end of the timber. And then insert the extraction timber into the extraction beaker. Add approximately 140 ml of the solvent. The extraction timber is inserted into the extraction beaker and constantly filled with the solvent. Depress the tongue for the extraction beaker and then insert the beaker and let loose the tongue. Okay, when the unit is loaded, push all the beakers against the rear limit stud of the hot plate in order to achieve correct positioning. Okay, after finishing the extraction, then we go to the program. Okay, before the program can be started, the safety temperature from 200 or 300 degrees respectively preset in the program has to be adjusted via the key operated switch. After having pressed key 1, the number of the desired program is entered. Okay? For the manual start is done by pressing the ENT key. The system takes the confirmation of the first digit as confirmation of date and time. Actual time and starting time identical and the program runs. Date and time have to be entered for the time start. It is important that the first digit of the date is overwritten even if the starting date is not changed, as otherwise the unit will be started manually. Okay, the display now shows at the top of the actual date and time below the entered starting date and time. When they are identical, the program runs. Okay, after the termination of the program, the beakers are dried at 103 degrees C for at least 1 hour in the drying oven. When the extraction beakers are placed into the desiccator, cool down to room temperature and weighed to exactly 1 mg. The drying, cooling down and weighing is repeated half hourly until 2 successive weighing do not differ for more than 0.1% from the weight in material. In case the weight increases, the lower value of the weighing before must be kept. Okay, extraction, drying and weighing have to succeed each other immediately. Okay, so that's all for today. Okay, you may watch the video for more understanding. Thank you. Bye.